welcome. Namaste, everyone. Welcome to our 60-minute slow flow today. Today's practice is going to be nice and flowy. We're going to be moving in all kinds of different shapes, kind of moving from one to the other in a nice, calm, relaxed pace today. And we're going to then bring it down to the floor and do some nice stretches and some nice poses on the floor. Now, today's practice will, if you have yoga blocks or any sort of thick books, go ahead and grab them. If you do have the yoga blocks, go ahead and make sure they're nearby because we're going to use them right away. If you have a bolster or a yoga strap, make sure they're nearby because you never know when you're going to want to grab them. So today we're going to start standing at the top of our mat. We're going to bring our feet hip distance apart. It's going to allow our bodies to kind of settle in here. Maybe roll the shoulder blades back a couple of times, back and down. Let's let the arms feel heavy here. And maybe you'll roll the shoulder blades in the opposite direction, just kind of loosening up through the upper body. And then whenever you're ready, go ahead and make your shoulders come back to base, coming right back in towards center. Chest is open, knees are soft, and just let the arms kind of drift off to the side of your body. Maybe even feeling that natural gravitational pull of the arms kind of reaching down towards the ground. And just maybe find a spot here. Maybe you want to have a soft gaze forward, or maybe you want your eyes to be closed. Whatever feels most comfortable for you. And perhaps you'll take a moment here just to allow yourself to settle in. Maybe noticing the legs, noticing the feet, noticing your hips and your upper body, your shoulders and your crown. Let's begin by taking a couple of nice deep breaths to the belly. And maybe sigh it out as you exhale. Just notice any tension in the body, just allowing it to kind of seep down towards the earth. Notice if you have any sort of resistance from a physical standpoint. Notice if you can soften different areas of the body that maybe are holding on to something that you want to let go of. And as we just take a moment to center our attention and turn inward, maybe just notice where you're at today on the mat. What are you bringing to the mat with you today? And see if we can allow ourselves to just softly allow all those demands that are on us to kind of drift off like a boat in the sea, kind of drifting off. Let's go ahead and gently allow our feet to rest down to the floor and go ahead and lift your toes. And as you're here, you may notice the 4-point connection between the ball of the foot and the heel, the outer edge and the inner edge of the foot. Maybe see if you can spread your toes nice and wide, just expanding the toes as they remain lifted. And perhaps start to sway your body gently side to side, as if you're trying to spread the feet out wide beneath you, creating this lovely foundation. You can maybe even start to notice the outer and the inner edge of the foot. Toes remain lifted if that's possible. If you need to put your feet down, go ahead and do so one toe at a time. Maybe as you sway your body from side to side, spreading the feet out wide, connecting to the earth beneath you. The next time you come back through center, noticing the 4-point connection of the feet. Go ahead and set your toes down nice and wide. Notice how that just adds a little bit more foundation, a little more stability underneath. And then perhaps gently rock your body forward and back. Really subtle movement. Maybe your eyes are open or they're just gazing forward softly. Maybe your eyes are closed. Just gently feeling into the feet here. And then as you make your way back in towards center, see if you can notice the pads of the toes down to the floor. You can notice the ball of the foot, the heel of the foot. Maybe there's a little softening of the belly. And then from here, with your feet pressing into the floor, keeping your eyes closed or open, whatever feels right for you. Let's go ahead and take a deep breath in as we extend the arms up overhead. And as you're here, reaching the arms up, exhale, release the breath maybe from the mouth and just let the breath sigh out of the mouth here. Breathing in, lengthening the body, and then exhale, release. Just continue here at your own perfect pace, inviting a nice, soft, slow rhythm. Breathing deeply in and breathing deeply out. And just noticing if there's any sticking points in the shoulder. Just try to loosen up that area. Breathing in and breathing out. And next time you find yourself with your arms reaching up towards the sky, I'd like you to bring the palms so that they're facing each other, gazes forward, perhaps open the eyes softly. And as you breathe in, reach with the arms, lift up onto the ball of the feet. And then as you exhale, slowly release the arms, slowly release the heels down to the floor. Breathe in, slightly bend in through the knees, extend the arms up. As you do so, slowly start to raise the heels, reach the arms. And then exhale, slowly release the heels and release the arms. Let's repeat that a couple more times at your own pace. And if it feels a little unsteady, maybe you raise just one heel and then the other, knowing that whatever works within your wheelhouse of your practice, choosing to make the right decision for yourself is your prerogative. It is your practice. And the next time you allow your arms to just drift down towards the side, heels pressing into the floor, roll the shoulder blades back and let us meet in Tadasana. Palms outstretched, feet pressing energetically into the floor, gaze is soft. The back of the neck is slightly lifted. And just notice as you press your feet into the floor here, as you open up your chest, energizing through the arms. Notice if you can feel maybe one side bearing a little bit more weight than the other. See if you can find that balance space between the right and the left foot, the right and the left arm, the right and the left shoulder, pressing equally into the floor. And then on your next inhale, sweep your arms up towards the sky. Press the feet into the floor. Let the right arm drift down to the side. Energize through the core and gently lean over to a lateral bend here. And as we rest here for just a couple of breaths, maybe press your left foot into the floor. Notice if your body just wants that immediate shift of the weight into the left. Can you keep both feet pressing in nice and balanced? Gaze is gently forward. On your next inhale, slowly allow the left arm to drift down to the side and extend the right arm and allow that body to drift over to the side here. And as we come into this really softly, just notice how it feels. Maybe see if you can anchor down even further into that right foot. On the next inhale, allow the right arm to drift off to the right side. And let's take that left arm up one more time. This time, lift up a little bit through the tummy. Allow your body to drift off and slowly seep down towards the earth, still pressing balanced into both feet. Lifting tall, gazes forward. Opening the side body here. Inhale, allow that left arm to slowly drift down to the side. Take the right arm up and release over to the left. Allowing the shoulder to soften. And then as you're ready, coming back through center, allowing both hands to drift off to the side. Let us take our arms out to the side here and then swim them gently back. And I want you to imagine this beautiful ball of light. Shoulders are back, chest is neutral, pelvis is neutral. And you're holding on to this ball of light between the hands. And as you hold that energy between the hands, your chest is lifted, your gaze is just forward and soft. And you can feel your chest expanding here, the heart space opening. You can feel the energy maybe pulsating into the palm of the hand. Pressing still into the feet, but keeping that nice balanced area between the right and the left foot. And then as you're ready, release the hands, sweep them forward, interlace the fingers, press the palms away, allow the shoulders to drift away from the ears, and allow the gaze to drip down towards the earth, lengthening the back of the neck, relaxing through the shoulders. And perhaps as you're ready, lift the gaze forward, release the arms out to the side. Let the arms rest here at the side and take the gaze down to the floor, lengthening the back of the neck as your arms are resting down towards the earth. And then from here, gently create a beautiful smile, just rocking your chin from side to side, creating a beautiful gentle rotation from right shoulder to left and from left to right. Breathing in and breathing out. And the next time you make your way through center, gently allow the chin to lift, gaze is forward. And let's inhale, sweep the arms up towards the sky. And then we're going to exhale, coming into our first forward fold today. And as I said, maybe grab your yoga blocks today and just allow the earth to raise beneath you. Maybe bend into the knees and let the head just drift down. Just allowing ourselves a little release in the low back here. Maybe your feet are even wider than hip distance apart. And as you're here, maybe resting your left hand on the left block, extending the left leg and, bending the left leg and twisting towards the right. Gaze maybe up towards the sky or gaze maybe down. And then go ahead and drift that right arm down, bending into that right knee and gently twisting towards the left. And maybe you'll notice if your shoulders kind of drifting down, can you open up the chest and bring the arm in alignment with the shoulder? And then go ahead and drift back down. Left arm rests towards the block, left arm knee bends, and just gently expanding through the chest and coming into these gentle twists. Allow the right hand to come down and just flow here. Maybe you want to hold on to one spot a little longer. Maybe you just want to flow with one breath, one movement. This is really up to you. Just exploring what feels good. Remembering just to take those nice deep breaths in. Allow the breath to be your guide. Wonderful. And as we make our way through maybe one more rotation on either side, make our way back in towards center. Allow your knees to bend. Maybe allow yourself to drift the crown of the head towards the floor a little bit deeper. And if you want to, you can just keep your hands on the blocks and just rock your body front to back. Noticing maybe a little bit of elongation in the low back. Remember, if this doesn't feel good to keep your head below the heart, raise your head and lengthen your spine. You can still continue to invite a little rocking from front to back here without the head drifting below the heart. So just honor what feels good for you. Maybe you can even notice a little release in the low back and the upper body and the gaze and the jaw. Allow the head to feel heavy as you rock your body front to back. If at any time it feels a little unsettling, go ahead and just slow that pace down and just allow yourself to rest here in your forward fold. Wonderful. And then as you're ready, maybe we'll release our hands from the blocks and give ourselves a little hug by grabbing hold of our opposite elbows, right hand to left, left hand to right, and just rock side to side this time. Maybe even bending into the knees, releasing the low back and the crown. And this really loving and tender position here, just to feel like you're giving yourself a hug and just massaging the back of the body, allowing your body just to flow here from one to the other. No expectation, just allowing it to be really nice and fluid. Good. And then whenever you're ready, we'll make our way back towards center and just slowly allow that pendulum, if you will, to slow down in towards center. Go ahead and rest your hands back onto the block. And let's go ahead and deeply bend into the knees and sweep the arms up as we press the feet into the floor and just make our way back up with the arms outstretched. And this time, go ahead and grab your left wrist and just guide it over towards the right, just gently lengthening the side of the body. See if there's a little bit more space here. Inhale back through center, grab the right wrist and lean over to the left, guiding that right wrist over to the left. Inhale back through center. And this time we're going to swan dive down, lengthen through the back, lead with the heart. Rest the hands to the block. Inhale, find your half arch, your half lift. Back is long. Exhale, release down to the floor. Maybe you set the blocks down slightly to the side, setting your right and left hand to the floor, taking your right foot back and then your left and meeting in downward dog here. Feet may be wide, arms may be wide, palms are spread out. Perhaps we take a moment here just to gently pedal the feet from one to the other, allowing the shoulders to drift away from the ears. Knowing that at any time, if you need a break, you can go down onto your knees, maybe rest in child's pose. Maybe you allow a little bit of movement in the hips as you're pedaling the feet from one to the other. And then whenever you're ready, if you're in child's pose, maybe we'll make our way back into our downward dog. Settle both heels, gently releasing the knees. And then we'll shift into our plank pose. So bringing ourselves all the way long, just holding here for just a brief moment, and then perhaps settling the knees down to the floor. And then as you're ready, exhale, allow your body to rest down towards the earth. Hands are resting at the side, shoulders are pressed back. Inhale, open up your heart as you come into cobra. Shoulders are pulled back, lifting through the sternum. Nice lifting of the belly and the glutes turned on. Exhale, slowly make your way back down. Curl your toes under, press back, downward dog. Press into the feet, drop the heels. And however you want to get there, you can hop, you can walk your feet towards the top of your mat, making your way back into your forward fold. Grab your blocks. On your next inhale, lift your head, lengthen your spine, half arch. Take a breath here, and then exhale, release down into your forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, bend the knees and sweep the arms, reverse swan diving the arms, extending the arms long, continuing to press equally into the feet. Grab hold of your left wrist, lean over to the right. Inhale through center, grab hold of your right wrist, lean over to the left. Inhale through center, release the arms to the side, find your mountain pose, and just take a moment here. Check in. How are you feeling? Maybe you want to just allow the head to bob from side to side, releasing any tension, allowing the chest to remain open. And then as you're ready, we'll take an inhale. We'll sweep those arms back up above our head, lengthening the body. Exhale, swan diving down, leading with the heart, coming down into a forward bend, letting the hands rest on the block. Inhale, come into your half arch, lengthen the spine. Exhale, release down towards the earth, and this time take the left foot back and then the right and meet in downward dog. Maybe you're coming to this again from a different perspective. Maybe you'll see if you can allow your body to rest here for a moment, perhaps pedaling the feet, or maybe just taking a few breaths. Notice if you're straining through any part of the body, see if you can try to let go of any resistance. Maybe through the neck, through the jaw, through the shoulders. And then perhaps as you're ready, go ahead and seep both heels down to the floor. And then we're going to shift our weight forward, making our way back again into the plank. And just for a brief moment there, notice the hands and the feet. And then go ahead and set your knees down to the floor. Tuck your elbows so that they're underneath your shoulders and start to release down to the earth. Hands are resting down at your side, elbows tucked in. Inhale, lift, find your cobra. Exhale, release down to the earth. Curl the toes under. Let's make our way back, downward dog. Maybe just take a few breaths here, settle in. Remember that there's always options to rest in child's pose. And then however you want to get there, let's make our way to the top of our mat. Maybe you hop, maybe you make your way with your feet long and walk your feet to the top of your mat and find ourselves in our forward fold. Maybe in a half fold if we're keeping our head above our heart. Allow the shoulders to drift away from the ears. Soften the neck. Inhale, make our way into our half arch, lengthening the spine, leading forward with the heart. Exhale, release down. Inhale, slowly bend the knees and sweep the arms all the way up. Go ahead and grab that left wrist and just gently guide it over to the right. Come back through center and guide your right wrist over to the left. Come back through center and let's release our hands to the side, making our way back into Tadasana and taking just a moment of rest here. Noticing now how your body feels, knowing that at each moment our perspective changes. We don't repeat the same thing twice in the exact same way. So each time we approach something, we're approaching it from a different view. We're coming back into mountain pose, maybe feeling a little different than we did just but a few minutes ago. And then as you're ready, go ahead. If your eyes are closed, slowly open them up. We're going to make our way into the long part of our mat. And it'd be great if we take our blocks with us because they can be really handy as we come into our straddle splits shortly. So maybe just grab your blocks and set them nearby so that you have them easily accessible. And as we make our way here, we're going to externally rotate the feet here. We're going to come into our 5-pointed star. So with the feet pressing out and the heels pulling in, sweep the arms up, extend the arms, open the palms. Press into the feet, open up through the chest, pull in through the belly, extend the palms outstretched. Take an inhale here. And then as you exhale, release the knees, sweep down as if you're grabbing something nice and big. And then we're going to spread that out. So extend as we find our way into our sunflowers. And just do this at your own perfect pace. No rushing, no pressure. Just find your rhythm here. And just think about extending the body, pressing into the feet, keeping that nice sense of stabilization. Nice energy through the legs. Maybe you want to go a little faster and just kind of invite a one breath, one movement. And just noticing if your knees are tracking right towards the toes. Knees are wide, inner thighs are working. Good. Beautiful. And let's do one more and we'll all meet in our 5-pointed star. Outstretch the arms, reaching tall. And then from here, let's go ahead and bend those elbows, cactus the arms, open the chest. Bend into the knees, keeping the inner thighs nice and wide. From here, we'll inhale to tip over to the right. Exhale, pull ourselves back through center. Inhale over to the left and back through center. A moving goddess pose here. And just keeping the chest open, the abdominals pulled in. Maybe finding ourselves coming deeper into this pressure towards the floor. Not pressure, but anchoring towards the floor. Just allowing your body to drift from side to side. Wonderful. Let's do one more on either side. Maybe 3 more if you have to balance yourself out. And then the next time you make yourself through center, allow your arms to release. Set your hands to the hips, maybe opening and rolling the shoulder blades back. And then let's turn the feet slightly internally. Now, if this does not feel good for you, you're welcome to keep them externally rotated. You can also keep them facing forward. From here, we're going to lean into our straddle split. So either coming halfway down And so here you can use those blocks to set your hands on. And I'll just show you from the side. Our back is nice and long here. And maybe this is just enough for today, just to get that lengthening in the back of the legs here. So notice how it feels. If you're straining through the neck, try to relax in through the neck and just keep the body nice and long. And if you want to, you can always go into some flowing straddle splits here. So maybe allow the upper body to come down and then roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. And just allow yourself to find this nice flowy pace here. Kind of flowing with the breath. Exhale to release down. Again, if this doesn't feel good, you're just holding on to the straddle split and just focusing on releasing the back of the body. Wonderful. Wonderful. Let's do one more. Fantastic. Now, as you make your way into your half arch, if you will, as we're in our straddle splits here, going to use those blocks. We're going to shift them up over towards the right. As we do so, we're going to bend into that right knee and just give that left inner thigh a nice a little bit of love here. Keeping the back nice and long. And I'm not going too far into it. I'm going just enough that I can feel that inner thigh. I've got my hands resting on the block just to support my upper body. And then maybe take the blocks and slowly walk them over to the other side and reach out through that right leg. Back is long. Just enough to give a little bit of that inner thigh stretch. Wonderful. Let's walk that over one more time. Maybe taking the blocks over to the right side. And I really got some good shifting of my hips back. So I'm being really careful not to drift my knees over my toes here. Good. Let's make our way one last time over to the left. Keep the back nice and long. Breathing in and breathing out. Fantastic. And let's come back through center here. Good. Toes are still facing forward. And we're going to go ahead and turn that right foot out. And we'll maybe walk our hands, pivot onto that back foot. So finding ourselves either maybe even with our yoga blocks on either side. As we come into a low lunge here, I've got my back foot right on the heel of the ball of the foot. My spine is nice and long. I'm using my blocks on the highest point to really facilitate the lifting of my heart. Now, maybe this is enough for today. So maybe just kind of notice how this feels. If you want to, you can release the hands from the block, extend the arms up, find yourself in your crescent pose. Settle into the shoulders, bend into that front knee. Beautiful. Now, perhaps from here, we stay with our hands extended, or if you'd like, you can reach the arms long. Guide the arms back, roll the shoulder blades back, and find ourselves almost like in this airplane shape. Head is stacked along the rest of the spine. Got a lot of work happening in the front of the body. We're balancing and energizing through the feet. And then go ahead and release the arms back to the block. Let's take that back foot forward, come into our forward fold. Maybe use the blocks to release the hands onto. Maybe open the feet really nice and wide here. Notice now, as you come into this forward bend, how does it feel? Maybe a little bit more room to release in through the upper body. On your next inhale, perhaps press the hands into the floor, lengthen the spine, make your way into your half arch. Exhale, release down, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, bend the knees, sweep the arms up, press into the feet, extend the body long. Take the left wrist over to the right. The right wrist over to the left. Come back through center. Release the hands down to the side. Roll the shoulder blades back. Come into Tadasana, taking the feet a little bit closer so that they're hip distance apart. Let's just take a moment here. Wonderful. Noticing maybe a little different parts of your body. Maybe you feel a little change in the breath. Wonderful. Now, as you're ready, let's sweep the arms above our head, reaching tall. Exhale, we're going to swan dive back down, leading with the heart down towards the block, finding our forward fold. Inhale, come into your half arch, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, release down. Inhale, come into your half arch, lengthen your spine, and this time take the left foot back. The right foot, my bad. Right foot back. So other side, resting that left knee on top of the ankle. And as we make our way into our low lunge on the other side. With the right leg extended out long, maybe you have your blocks resting, kind of framing that front foot with the spine nice and long. Maybe this is just the right amount of effort for today. Perhaps if you want a little more, you can release the blocks, extend the arms up. Just taking a moment to anchor in through the feet here. And then at your own perfect pace, if you'd like to reach the arms forward, sweeping them all the way forward and then back, roll the shoulder blades back, energize through the fingertips, find yourself in your airplane. A lot of work in the legs here, and just take a moment to settle in. Letting those thoughts that might be drifting into the mind, to let them free, let them go. Wonderful. Go ahead and release your hands to the block. Rest into that left foot, take that right foot forward, find your forward fold. Resting the hands onto the block, release the upper body. Inhale, find your half arch, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, release down. Inhale, find your half arch, lengthen through the spine, and this time take the blocks and just set them off to the side. Maybe resting the hands on your shins, and this time exhale, release down to the floor. Taking your right foot back, then your left, finding downward dog. Releasing down through the heels. As you come into, I think this is our third or fourth downward dog, notice how this time it feels maybe a little different. When you're ready, set your knees to the floor. Hands underneath the shoulders. Spine is long. Inhale, tilt the pelvis, roll the shoulder blades back, find your cow. Exhale, pull the belly in, tuck the tail, let the gaze fall between the knees, release the neck. Inhale, arch the low back, open up the heart. Exhale, pull the belly in, round through the spine. Inhale, tilt, open up your heart space, find your cat-cow. As you're doing this, just notice the breath entering and leaving the body. See if you can soften the body, soften your being right now, just letting the body flow. Wonderful. And as you're ready, go ahead and we'll slowly make our way into our tabletop position, resting our right hand and our left knee down. Let's go ahead and extend into spinal balance, reaching with the left arm long and the right leg lifted. Pull up through the belly, breathe in to extend the arm and the leg. Exhale, set it down. Inhale, right and left, reaching long. exhale, set it back down. Let's just flow here, maybe about 4 times or so. And just noticing the back of the body here. See if you can really keep that core nice and engaged. Think about lengthening through the spine here, inviting some space into our body. Exploring your breath, keeping it nice and deep. Gaze is soft towards the floor. Wonderful. Whenever you're ready, make your way back in towards center. And let's go ahead and we'll meet in child's pose. So whenever you're ready, finish up wherever you're at. And we'll find ourselves, if it's okay with you, in extended child's. If today you want to keep the elbows in because that feels a little more comfortable, feel free to make the decision that works best for you. And as you're here, just allow your hips to release down towards the heels. Allow maybe a little bit of softness to come through the shoulders, through the forehead, through the jaw. Allowing the low back to kind of seep down. So noticing if you're holding on to tension there, see if you can just let that go. Great. Let's just take a couple more deep breaths to the back of the body. Wonderful. And then whenever you're ready, lift your forehead maybe 2 to 3 inches off the floor so that you're kind of hovering there. Lift the palms of your hands up and finding ourselves with our hands tented here. And go ahead and walk your hands over towards the left side. And maybe as you drip your right hip down, you're taking that right arm about an inch forward of the left. Giving our side body a little bit more of a stretch here. Maybe feels a little different to those side bends we did earlier as we were standing. Notice if there's a little more room, a little more opportunity just to feel that expansion of the breath. Great. When you're ready, let's walk our hands over towards center and then let's drift over to the right side, taking that left hand a little bit longer forward of the right. Pressing down into that left hip, releasing the shoulder, the side body. Terrific. Notice any resistance you might be feeling in the body. See if you can try to let a little bit of that softness come through. Great. Let's make our way back in towards center. And this time we're going to take our right hand just out to the side here. We're going to do a little needle and thread to give our shoulders a little stretch here. So taking that left arm, maybe reaching it about shoulder height, and then exhale, needle and thread right underneath the right. Turning the gaze over to the right side, continuing to press down through the hips. Now the right arm may be reaching kind of in opposition here. So you've got the left arm reaching towards the right arm extended to the top of the mat here. And if that doesn't feel good, feel free to rest your hand either at the side, maybe even taking the arm at a 90-degree angle and just inviting a little more rotation through the upper thoracic spine here by pressing the fingertips into the floor. That's really up to you, whatever feels right for you. Just allow the low hips to kind of release down. Wonderful. And then slowly take that top arm and we'll just gently press our upper body up and sweep the left arm out and long above our head if that feels good. And then take the right arm out and then we'll needle and thread the right underneath the left. Now again, as we twist here, we're keeping our hips fairly neutral. We're really inviting the upper part of the spine to rotate here. Left arm may be extended if that feels okay. If not, just bring that left hand into that 90-degree angle. And this just kind of helps to open up the chest a little bit into a bit of a deeper twist, if that's accessible. Wonderful. And then go ahead and release, press into that top arm, and go ahead and take both arms out and just bend the elbows. Let the forehead rest directly on top of the hands. Relax the shoulders. Let's take 4 or 5 breaths here. Relaxing your jaw, relaxing the back of your body, the forehead, the ears, the eyelashes, the nose. Wonderful. And then whenever you're ready, take your hands and let's just slowly and carefully press ourselves up. And we're going to just sit onto our heels for just a moment here. And maybe you want to curl your toes under. And if sitting on your heels doesn't feel good, then I'm going to suggest you take a yoga block and just set it underneath your sits bone so that you're sitting comfortably on a yoga block here. That can really help to feel a lot more comfortable, especially if you've got some tightness through the knees. Maybe coming into a kneeling position is not ideal. And let's go ahead and reach the right arm up towards the sky. And we're going to gently twist, just keeping our pelvis pretty neutral, over towards the left and set that right hand down onto the left and gently rest the left arm on the hip as we come into a gentle twist here. Beautiful. And start to turn and unwind back through center. Wonderful. Take the left arm up, turning towards the right. Set that left arm onto the right and twist towards the right side. You want to stay nice and tall here, so continue to imagine you're being pulled up with a string. Fantastic. Unwind your body. Ooh, just relax the shoulders here. Maybe take a little bobble of the head. Maybe allow it to just kind of move into different directions here. Fantastic. And whenever you're ready, let's go ahead and make our way onto our back. We're going to grab our yoga block. And let's just begin first by setting ourselves down to the floor. And let's bring our knees in towards our chest and just give our low back a little opportunity to stretch out and to massage our spine, maybe rocking our body side to side. Releasing the back of the shoulders, releasing the head. Maybe even stirring the pot here. So imagining you're turning your knees and stirring the pot, spreading the low back down into the mat. Giving a little bit of movement even through the hips and through the joint. Maybe you decide to stir your pot in a different direction. Take the knees out to the other side. Just gently inviting a little spreading of that low back into the earth. Wonderful. And then whenever you're ready, we'll make our way back in towards center and set our feet down. And let's go ahead and take our yoga block and we'll set it right between the knees. Feet are hip distance apart and you've got the inner thighs gently pressing in towards the block enough that you can feel some nice muscle engagement. Go ahead and press into your heels, lift your sacrum 2 to 3 inches off the floor, shift it over towards the left. Open up the arms and turn the knees over to the right. And just allowing the inner thighs to kind of come towards center, and make sure that bottom hip is really shifted over enough so that your top hip, your left side of the hip, is really stacked on top of the right. So it feels nice and supported here. Just focusing on allowing the shoulders to rest down to the floor. Might be tempting to keep the left shoulder up, but really inviting a nice rotation through the upper spine. So the more we can focus on those shoulders relaxing and melting down, the more we can really invite a bit more rotation through the spine. And then slowly, using the outer side of the left leg, start to bring and lift the right foot and the left knee up towards center, keeping a little bit of engagement of your inner thighs towards the block, and recenter your sacrum back to base. And then from here, lift and shift it over to the other side and let the knees drift off towards the left. Opening up the heart. And then at your own perfect pace, start to draw the knees back up, resettling the sacrum back to base. And let's just go ahead and release the block to the side. Let's take one more knees to chest here. Maybe even like an accordion, you breathe in, let the knees drift away, and then exhale, let the knees drift in. Wonderful. And then whenever you're ready, set your feet back down to the floor. And we're going to come into a gentle inversion here, a very restorative inversion, our candlestick. And I'm going to use my yoga block and set it at its medium height. You can choose whatever height works best for you. Set it so that it feels nice and supportive underneath the sacrum. Set the arms out to the side. And then whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and lift your legs up to the sky. One and then the other. Relaxing the throat. Letting the low back just release here. Just allowing the chest to be open. Allowing the legs to feel whatever they're feeling. You might feel like this is a lot of work, but see if you can let that go a little bit and just enjoy some softness through the legs. Maybe even close your eyes for a few breaths. And then whenever you're ready, go ahead and slowly allow one foot to seep down towards the mat and then the other. And with a little bit of engagement through the heels and through the glutes, lift yourself high enough so that you can take the block and set it to the side. Bring your right knee in. Extend the left leg long. Let the right leg drift down long and pull the left knee in. And then perhaps let the left leg extend out long as we make our way into our Shavasana. So perhaps you're resting a bolster underneath the knees. Maybe you're putting on a nice cozy blanket or sweater or some socks. Maybe your arms are drifted out to the side, or maybe one hand is on your heart and one hand is on your tummy. As you take a moment here just to quiet the mind, focusing on just the breath leaving and entering the body, that gentle rise and fall of your breath. Allowing the body's weight to feel heavy here, but heavy in a way as if you're releasing. You're not holding on. Now let's slowly start to deepen our breath. Maybe even allow the lips just to open and let the breath just leave at its own pace. Maybe start to move the hands and the feet, slowly inviting a little bit of movement here. And feel free to give yourself a good morning stretch or anything else that helps to just invite a little bit of more awareness to your surroundings. Maybe some rotations of the wrists and the ankles. Really, whatever feels right for you. And whenever you're ready, just slowly rock onto your favorite side if you want to. Just take a short moment of pause here. And then whenever you're ready, we'll take that top arm and just slowly start to press ourselves up. Maybe your eyes remain closed just to hold on a little bit longer for the next moment or two. The sense of quiet in the body. And let's meet with our hands at heart center. Just pressing the palms towards centers, that symbol of unity, of balance, connection. And gently bowing down towards our hands, giving thanks to the divine that lives within us all. May your heart always stay warm, and may your smile always stay broad. And may the light that shines in me honor the light that shines in you. Namaste. As always, from my heart to yours, thank you so much for joining me today for this really nice slow flow practice. I hope you're feeling a little bit more relaxed, a little more flowy. I hope to see you again soon. So from my heart to yours, have a wonderful day. Lots of love. Bye, everyone. Bye.